YouTubers, today we're going to do some Willcox and Gibbs. We're going to tear this particular model down. This is the most typical model that you see. Also, we have a glass tensioner, which is the very early model that they made. This is one of the first that Willcox and Gibbs made. It's got the glass tensioner. We're going to also do a series on this particular model, how to tear it down, clean it up, polish it, and make it look great. And this one here is a hat maker. And this one here was run in production where they made hats in the factories. So this is a pretty rare piece too. This one also later. But right now, we're going to tear down the most common one. First of all, we're going to take the cotton plate, knitting plate off. Actually, it's a sewing plate. And take it off. I've got these screws already pre-loosened, so I can just go ahead and go through it.
I hit open.
And then, okay, great. Well, we just want to show the folks how to. Okay, you need to lift up the pressure foot. This plate comes right off. Slides out. You're going to need to get a tray, okay, to put your stuff in. Also, these magnet plates are great. It's got a little magnet here that holds them in place. You've got to excuse my bench. It's a little messy, but these are the tools that we're going to be using today here to tear this down. Okay. Remove the thread holder. That will go in the plate. Also, this bolt. This is the cast iron arm. We're going to remove it. It has one bolt. So that goes in here. Now the thread guides right here, they're a little tricky. You want to take some emery cloth. You're going to fold it like this. You're going to take your pliers, because these are threaded on right here. Okay? Let's move this down a little bit. So you're going to fold it. And you're going to get in there and you're going to pinch it. Okay? Grab onto it. You want to be careful, but it comes loose. So these come through loose. See there? A little thread on it. This one also is pretty loosened, so we're going to take it off. Then you're going to need a wrench, which is a 9/32. Okay, you don't have to buy their wrenches. You can pick one up at the hardware store. And we're going to take off the pressure foot. That come off. Also, we're going to take the needle off. Comes right off. Okay, let's do that plate. Now, there's a little plunger. It holds this pressure foot with a spring. So this bolt right here is going to have to come off. And put your finger right here underneath there, because there's a little plunger. You don't want that to spring out. You want to release the pressure. Take that out. Hold that. And that should come right out. You'll see what I mean. This comes off. And there's a little, see that little plunger right there? That plunger comes out. It's got a little hole where this screw goes in. It helps move that up and down. That's what gives your pressure with this spring right here that I'm bringing out. See the spring? There it is. So you're going to put that in your plate. Now that part's out. You're going to flip it over. And then you're going to take and loosen up the needle bar. Okay? There's and these sometimes don't come out that easy, but it swivels. A little swivel makes it spin. That goes in there, and this should slide right out now. Right out of the guide. So that's out. This is going to be your toughest part right here. trying to get this arm, the needle arm, off. This bolt right here is really on there hard. I mean, it's been in there for over 100 years, so it's tough. So you're going to take this little device right here, which is a gasket scraper. These work great. So you're going to put it in here like this, and you're going to take a crescent wrench and you're going to tap it on there. You're going to want to take it and lean it up against something that's going to hold pressure. Make sure you lay some cloths down so you don't scratch your tape. This one is already pre-loosened, and I'm just demonstrating how to take it. You're going to put your wrench on there, and you're going to put pressure down, and you're going to turn it. Okay, it should break free. They are really hard, unless you got a really big, thick screwdriver. But I found that all these are very stubborn, and they are very difficult to get off. So, that screw is going to come out. Off like that. Just leave it loose like that. We're going to take this shaft arm. We're going to take it off while I have that loose. So let's take this off. We're going to loosen that. There's 2 bolts. Hold that on. And take it off. There we go. Come off. Get a smaller screwdriver so I can get in there. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something. These have identification marks. See these little dots? You see that? There's little dots. That goes up front. This one also has, this other arm has identification. They have to be lined up when they get put back together. If you put them on backwards, the machine won't act right. It will be really stiff, and you will not be happy. I need to point that out. I'm going to show you off what it looks like completely. Make sure you get those identification marks going towards the front of the machine. And this one also has a little base, so it goes off. This should go up. Put this down. Up. That pulls off. There's the identification marks right here. Here and here. And there's one here and here. That goes towards the front of the machine. Also match it up with this one. It also has the same little punch marks for identification. Make sure those are lined back up. We'll set those right here inside the plate. Okay, we'll finish taking off the arm. It comes off. And there's just a little drip pan. That's what I call a little drip pan. That's on there too, so be careful. Take that off. That fits behind the arm like that. It fits underneath there. So we're going to put that in the pan. Put this one here, right there. You're going to need, folks, you're going to need to modify a screwdriver. This screwdriver here is modified. These smaller screwdrivers don't work because these bolts here and here have been sitting in there for over 100 years. So you're going to need to take this and modify it, get it short. So you're going to take it, put it in here, and you're going to press down and turn it. Okay? Press down and turn it. They should break free. Should. Those are free. That one's free. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to go to the front of the machine, and then now we're going to tear. This is right here. This is where you get your gauging of your thread length stitch. So that has to come off. That's going to come right off. I'm going to set that here. And then we're going to take off this. I call this a dust cover. So that has to come off. And then we're going to shoot another video how to clean and polish these parts. Well, I have it apart, but that's going to be a series 2. So we're going to set that there. Now this right here, you be careful because it's got a spring in here. So you want to hold on to that while you take this part here apart. This little lever right here is a little tricky, not bad, but it's a little tricky when you go to put it back together, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to spend more time to make sure y'all get that right. So when you feel comfortable about putting these back together, you don't have any pressure. But this should slide out just like that. Goes in there. And this part comes like this and slides right out. And there's a little spring in there. See that? It backs up into this right here, this little swivel. So it backs up in there. So you're going to take that out. So we're going to clean that up. We're going to clean all these parts up too while we got it apart. Now we're going to take the hook, which I call a hook. We're going to take that off. You're going to need your special screwdriver also to get in there to get that bolt loose. Okay? You're going to need to get in there, get that off. And then the hook just slides right out. See there? Slides right out. There it is. Okay, now, whoops, wrong place. Okay, now that we got these screws loosened up and this loosened up, now we're going to take our rubber mallet. Okay? Everything's loosened up. So you just gingerly hit it. Should see it starting to tap out. If you have to, this right here, use it because you're not going to hurt the decals. It won't hurt it. This penetrating oil is great. I use a lot of it when I'm working on these machines. And it should come out. Just be careful. When it comes off, the shaft comes off. It's a little tight. I'm going to have this one off. Slides right out, just like that. Now be careful because that part I loosened up is still in there. You don't want to damage your paint, so you want to catch that. See it come out? There it is. So you put that in your bucket. Now this plunger was in there. Okay? It was sitting there. That's your automatic tension. See it moving? See that? That's what makes it move up and down there. That plunger we're going to stick over here. All right, it's all apart. Whoops. Almost. Almost. We got this right here. This is a thread guide also. So we're going to take it apart. Okay. Now I loosen it up. I can use my smaller screwdrivers to go ahead and remove that piece. Sometimes this can be a little hard. Just be careful, and you can wiggle it back and forth just real gingerly, and then pull up, and it should come right out, just like that. You can see that it's dirty. It's been sitting in there for a long, long time. Okay, we're not going to get into taking these other thread guides out. They do come out, but they have to be set just right for those guides to work, and we're going to get into that a little later. But right now we just want to teach you how to just basically clean a machine up. You can take some cleaner, some emery cloth, real fine emery cloth, or some fine steel wool, and clean this up if it's got some rust on it. Just be careful you don't damage your paint if you want to keep the original paint. Also here, we're going to go ahead and knock this out. This little guide here, it's back here. There's a pin right there. So you're going to take your dry pin, set it down, and you're going to take, get my hammer.
We have 14 minutes.
Okay, now we're going to just punch it out. And now it's coming out. You lift up on it a little bit, and there it is. Come right out. There it is. It's all out. So it's all disassembled. Okay? So there it is. All right.
It's almost 15 minutes.
Okay, we'll do one. Okay, we'll be back. We're going to do a part 2, how to put it back together. We're going to do some polishing, and then we'll put it back together. So there you have it.